All right, welcome back. This is now take 4 of this episode. I'm losing patience. Round 1, I sounded too tired, according to my mom. Round 2, the dogs were barking their living heads off. And round 3, my mom didn't like it. So we're on round 4. Here we go. Episode 7.
Yes. Hard to believe that it is the 7th episode. It literally feels like yesterday that we moved you home from college. So to even think that we are 7 weeks beyond that, which that isn't even true because we didn't start the podcast for several weeks after you came home. But yeah, that is so crazy. Summer is just absolutely flying by.
Yeah, I keep thinking that we're going to get like past something and then it's going to slow down. But I just think that the craziness is just our life right now.
Yeah, and I have to remind myself because I think about it in kind of a chaotic way. And when I think about it that way, I find it less enjoyable. I find myself like kind of looking to the future and being like, okay, I can calm down when this is over. And it's like, do I really want it to be over? I don't want it to be over. So why am I thinking like that?
Yeah.
Like every bit of the chaos has actually been planned. Like we know it's coming. We actually put ourselves in those positions. This weekend we're going to Country Jam, which is a country music festival that we look forward to. Yeah, in Eau Claire, Gracie's college hometown. And we look forward to that every single year. And it's like, why am I thinking about coming home on Sunday? Like I need to be thinking and anticipating all of the fun that we're going to have.
Right.
Hence the reason we plan it every single year. So
yeah, it's super exciting. Not all of them, but a group of my friends from Eau Claire, some of them still live there. So I'll be staying with them while my parents are staying in the camper. And I'm just so excited to just be able to spend time in Eau Claire even, but with them, with my family at Country Jam. Yeah. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, the weather looks perfect.
Yeah, it does actually, which is not typical for country music festivals. I feel like they always land on a rainy weekend. And so it's always fun, but it'll be nice to have good weather for this one.
Yeah. It's fun, but it's dirty.
Yeah,
and we have somebody coming to house sit and stay with the dogs, a friend of ours who, bless her heart.
Good luck, Jess.
Good luck. No, she will, like her mom just told me, if there's anybody that's up for the challenge, it's her. So she'll actually probably enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope so.
And last week actually, was Pana Prague, our Lakeville festival. Lakeville, I have no idea what the population of Lakeville is now, but when we first moved here,
too big.
20 some odd years ago, it was like 40,000. It's probably 4 times that now, I would guess. But it's, I do think that we have been one of Minnesota's fastest growing cities for probably at least the last 5 years. There's just so much progress. A panorama of progress, to be exact. That's the name of our festivals, Panorama of Progress, or Pana Prague.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely worth celebrating. I had the opportunity to judge the Miss Lakeville pageant, and that was super fun. But I would say my takeaway from that pageant was how cool it is that these competitors, these young girls who are competing for the crown or the title, they have so much pride in their town. And I just walked away from that in so much awe and kind of looking through a different lens on this city and how much it really has given to us. It's afforded us as a family, is something to be so grateful for. And it's so easy to lose sight of that. And so we have volunteered for years through the Lions organization and volunteered our time during Pana Prague. And I really never looked at it through the lens of how much pride I have in this town. And so this year was especially meaningful to me and really fun, but I was actually being intentional about looking at the things about our town that I love. And so it was a really fun weekend. It's always a little on the exhausting side because the days are long. But
And we had a big work week, yes.
we had a big work.
So,
Layer on top of that, a big
Yeah.
work week. But I do want to say one of the things when I say the days are long in regards to the volunteering, they are nothing in comparison to what how some of the people volunteer their time. Like they are, the hours that they volunteer is just so extraordinary. And I just cannot, when I think about how much work they put into this on behalf of making this an amazing experience for all the attendees, I look at what we do in such a, it's minuscule in comparison. So I'm just in awe of these people, especially the Lions, especially, I'll just shout out Paul Jacobus. Like he is phenomenal at planning all of this and then being amongst the army and leading this army of volunteers. It's just extraordinary. So anyways, on top of Panaprog, we had a busy work week.
Yeah. And then we had some of my friends were in town, so
Yeah.
It was an exciting but long week, I would say. And we're doing it again this week.
Yeah. So the title of this episode is Becoming Failures, which I think is kind of ironic when you look at the sequence of episodes, because last week was Becoming Confident. And I look at failing in a much different way than I used to. I really do believe that everything I have, from material things to ideas to aspirations, are literally created on a pile or through or thanks to a lot of the fails that I've had. They only come to be. The ideas that I have only come to be because I failed. So I actually have learned to be very appreciative of it. I will also say that doesn't make it hurt any less when it happens, because I feel like if there was ever a week that proved to me life is 50-50, 50% wanted feelings and 50% unwanted feelings, last week was the week.
But I think that it, as ironic as it is, it also kind of goes really perfectly with what we were talking about in our last episode, because you can't hit those big goals without failing. And so while the week is not anything like we planned it to be or wished it would be, we learned so much from it. And I feel like it was a good testament. I mean, at least
so
it was
let's not
all right
beat
off
around
the
the
bat.
bush. Let's just tell people like some of the fails that we had.
So, well, let's start with the launch. So we had a big masterclass last Friday, and we had spent a lot of time building it up. We had a lot of referrals, which was awesome. I think that's just a testament of how awesome our clients are, and what they believe about our company. And so that was awesome, but we also threw just an absurd amount of money away at paid ads and
Facebook ads, to be specific.
Facebook ads, and got zero return. Not one single person converted from paid ads. And so that was painful.
And I think what compounds the pain is that that's not the first time that has happened. Like, I'm not sure I can really contribute any client to Facebook ads, which is a little on the pathetic side when you look at the overall spend, probably over the course of the last 5 years.
How much went into this launch for paid ads?
Money-wise? I think over $2,000.
Yeah.
So $2,000 worth of paid ads over the course of, I don't know, 10 days maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little more.
The return was zero.
Yeah, so that hurt. That was tough.
That was Gracie's paycheck. No, just kidding.
Yeah, we were really excited about this launch, and like were super optimistic that this time the ads were going to work and we were going to get all these new people looking at us and excited for this masterclass, and that's just not what happened.
Yeah.
So I think, what did we take away from it though?
Yeah, from a marketing perspective, I have been outsourcing, paying for expert help in that arena. And it became very clear to me, and I have been doing this for quite some time,
Yeah.
like years. It's been different vendors, but this last vendor has been with us since October, and there has not been a return on the investment. I haven't learned a lot. It's been a lot of busy work,
Yeah.
which honestly I can't afford. I just don't have the extra time to be kind of jumping through these flaming hoops that they
Disposable income.
often put in front of me. But I've been operating from this belief that they know what they're doing and I don't. And what I learned through this experience is I do know what to do. I do know what's best. When I hire somebody to create an ad for me and they show me the ad and I immediately don't like it, or they build out a web page for me and I immediately don't like it, it's because the expert is me. I'm the one who knows the brand, knows the culture, knows our clients, knows what I like better than anybody. And yet I'm the one outsourcing it, believing that there is some other expert out there that's going to do a better job. And so it took me coming to that realization, like having to learn that lesson and feel that pain over and over and over to finally be like, hold on, what's actually happening here?
Yeah.
So we actually kind of pivoted from using this vendor, and we are doing it ourselves, which that affords us a lot of learning opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, just the amounts that we learned from trying to outsource, we learned a lot from that, but obviously we're going to learn so much more doing it ourselves. Like, these are things that we haven't even tried to do ourselves, and so I think, one, it's a good challenge to see what we're actually capable of, but two, I think that it is going to move us so much closer to our goals, just because it's different when it's us it's our company, so we know how we want this to go. We know exactly what we want the messaging to look like. We know exactly what we want the website to look like. And so, yes, it's going to take a lot more work on our end, but at the end of the day, the return on it is going to be something that we wanted.
Yeah.
And that we're expecting.
Yeah. Bottom line, we are the experts. Nobody else is more of an expert than us when it comes to the business and the messaging that we want out there from a marketing standpoint. So that was the big learn.
Yeah, and I think that we were talking about it in our coaching call earlier today, something about goals. A good thought that's helped and served me is that, like, I'm capable and I do have the tools. I think that that's something that gets, like, when things get overwhelming, or if it's something you've never done before, like these big goals that we're trying to hit, it's easy to say, like, well, I don't know how to do that, which I don't, but I'm very capable of learning, and we do have the tools to learn it. And so I think that that's something that's really good to, for me at least, that's been serving me really well in this learning process is, like, I am very capable of learning this, and I do have the tools.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but if you have, you need to really look at your thoughts about goals, because I know a good majority of my life, if I had a goal, my thought was the reason why it's a goal is because there's some sort of like insufficiency, inadequacy, I'm broken, I need to be fixed. The only reason why I had a goal was because of that, because I was broken or inept in some category. Isn't that crazy? Like, that literally was my belief about
Yeah.
any goal, that the only reason why I have it is because I'm insufficient. And holy moly, then I'm actually operating, trying to achieve a goal from that feeling. I'm trying to be motivated from insufficiency.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it took me years to realize that is no way to achieve a goal, to go
Yeah.
after a goal. And so now I go after goals from a belief that this is going to create new, like, problem solving skills. I'm actually, nothing has gone wrong. This is an opportunity for me to prove to myself what I'm actually capable of.
Exactly.
Like, those are the thoughts that have absolutely changed my life and changed the way I create things for myself. So I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but that's the way I used to live my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably very relatable. I'm sure that that's because it's just, again, it's so easy to get caught up in, like, if you didn't achieve your goal, like that failure status is so easy to get wrapped up in. And it's like, once you switch your mindset on that, like, no, failing is good. Like, failing is a part of the process, and failing is actually where you're going to learn the most.
Yeah.
And so I think that as painful as that that launch was, because we didn't convert the amount of people we planned to, we learned so much
Yeah.
just about that launch. And so,
and failing often hurts, you guys. There's pain often associated with the fail. And that too is, like, by design.
yeah.
So if you know that everything you create in your life is kind of built from the fails, then it would stand to reason that you have to be expecting pain. So don't let pain mean that something has gone wrong.
Right.
Like, be willing to accept it. Again, expect it. Like, accept it and expect it. Because something else that I used to do is anytime I felt sad or angry or hurt, I would compound that unwanted feeling with judgment that
Right.
I shouldn't be feeling that, or I am really broken. I'm broken beyond broken. Like, I would make so much meaning from just feeling bad. And now, again, I'm willing to feel it all. And that's no joke.
Yeah.
Like, last week, multiple times, I'm like, owie, 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 owie. Like, I
Yeah.
literally walked around.
It was rough.
Yeah, going, oh God, this hurts.
Yeah.
This hurts. And I've even told Gracie, like, somebody would say something, I'm like, ouch, damn, that hurts. You know, and it's just, but that's reality. It does hurt. It does hurt. It's like when I say you got to be willing to feel the uncomfortable feelings, like, it's uncomfortable. It really does hurt.
Yeah.
But just accepting that relieves me of that pain because I'm not having the pain and then judging myself for it. It's having the pain and accepting it, which kind of dissolves, I guess, I don't know a better way of saying it, but it lessens the intensity of that pain when you're just accepting of it. It's supposed to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'll just give a couple more examples. So you gave the launch example.
Big fat fail number 2.
Big fat fail number 2, which I think there's probably 5. But 2 would have been the actual masterclass,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would say that's...
It was an hour long. We were kind of moving along through it. I was actually feeling really good through it. And, I kept it on time. I felt like I was connecting with people.
Yeah.
I felt like for the amount of people who signed up and the amount of people that actually attended live, that was amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was feeling good during it. Like, I
Yeah.
was operating from really good thoughts. And the minute that thing stopped, it was like, wah, wah, wah. Like,
Yeah.
there weren't there wasn't any feedback. I usually get like immediate feedback. And then after I started looking for the feedback, like I asked Gracie, how'd you think it went? I asked Rhonda, who is a former business partner. I asked her how it went. Both of them gave me feedback that I was not expecting. Like I was not expecting to hear. It literally like blindsided me, but they were spot on. They were 100% accurate. And I just had kind of lost sight. And so I'll just be really honest.
I would say that was the biggest takeaway, was we just lost sight of what exactly we were trying to do with the masterclass. I think
so. Probably the ratio of a teaching moment or a lesson or value to sales, the ratio was off, the balance was off.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to hear the feedback that, like, one of the feedback things was that we had too much sales in the masterclass. And I think for us, our intent behind that was because we just know the value of our programs and we're really excited about it. And so it was like really easy for us to like be excited about it and want to talk about it in this masterclass and like be like, you're like, why aren't you signing up? Like, this is amazing. Like, we're so excited for you. But that's definitely not the way to do it. And
that wasn't the way it was received or interpreted. And so I found myself kind of going back and helping people understand what my intention was. I do tell people what it is that we offer in conjunction with teaching them something, because I do know that people want ongoing support. Like they don't believe they can do it themselves. And so I want to let them know what it is that we offer because it is ongoing support. But the lesson there is that is not necessary. When somebody's coming for, wanting to learn how to navigate the relationship with their estranged daughter, they don't want to be sold to. And I lost sight of that. So big fat fail number 2.
That was a big learning opportunity, because it's just going to set up our next one so much better. And like the value that we're going to bring to that next masterclass is going to be like 10x what we just did.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was definitely a learning
big fat fail number 3.
This one, I would say this was the biggest fail out
Only
of them
because
all.
I think you're taking more of the heat on it.
This was not good. So coming off of that launch, we were feeling pretty defeated, and so I pretty much like sat down in the chair and was like, all right, how are we going to fix this? How are we going to get more people to see us? Where can we be attracting more people? The sales aspect especially, and like lead generation, that's kind of what I was looking for. And I was on YouTube, like just like really feeling motivated and watching these videos, and then boom, an ad popped up, and it was like everything I needed wrapped up into a bow, and it was super shiny and nice. And this company was offering literally everything that I was like, this is what we need. They were offering the lead gens and the sales portion and marketing and strategy, and
a lot of it was done for you. So
a lot of it was done for you.
It wasn't even teaching you how to do this. It was like done for you. And when you're in that desperation type, mode, done for you sounds really good. Okay, go on.
So the ad popped up. I clicked on it, of course, and then the first page was like getting my information. I filled it out. And like within minutes, so like the next page was to sign up for a consult call. Within minutes, like before I could even look at like my schedule, they called me. And so I was like, wow, like they're on top of their shit. And they set up a meeting with me like right off the bat. And the meeting was for the following day. And so then I was like, wow, I really made some strides tonight. Like, I have a meeting tomorrow with this company that's going to literally solve all of our problems. And so we got on that meeting, and it sounded pretty good. Like, he was like, yeah, like you honestly, like we can really help you guys. you sound perfect for what we're offering.
They got
I'm going to
onto
set
our
you up.
They got onto our website with
Well,
us.
that was after, but yes, it was a consult call to send us to another call with an executive consulter.
Yeah, an account executive. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was set up for the following day, and I was like, Mom, like, we got this meeting, like, they're about to help us with literally everything we need, and they want to give us like a full hour of their time to help us just like look over everything and tell us exactly where they can help us. So we got on that call, and this guy like was just, he honestly, it was really helpful. Like what we took away from that call was really helpful. And so we were really excited about it. We did spend hour and a half on the call.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, at least. So this guy was like really like giving it to us.
Yeah, and then Buzzkill walks through the door, aka my husband.
Yeah, so my dad walks in and we are just like jazzed. We're like, wow, we have it figured out. Like this company.
Yeah. We just found the best resource, which he's rolling his eyes. He's like, really?
Yeah, because how many times we've done this before where we buy a nice shiny package for all done for you type of thing, and instead of trying to learn it ourselves. And so my dad just was not buying it, and he was like, okay, like fine, I'll play into it, like what's the name of the company, I'm gonna go like do some research.
Well, and he even said it, I'm gonna take 10 minutes. He made sure to say, what's the name of the company, I'm gonna take 10 minutes and I'll go do some research, I'll be right back. And I'm like having lots of thoughts about that.
Yeah. So the name of the company is Scale 13/Air AI, just so everybody knows. And so we're just sitting there like waiting for him to come back so that we can pull the trigger on this deal and call this guy back and be like, yep, we want you. And he comes back into the living room and he's like, so that took me 10 minutes to find literally nothing on this company. They're a complete sham, scam. Yeah. Frauds, like it's a fake company. They have
a shell of a website.
This guy, like, have you even tried to look him up? The guy that we just spent an hour and a half on the phone with. Have you even tried to look up him, his credentials, see anything on him? And we're like, well, no, we haven't got there yet, Dad. We just got off the call with him. So no, we haven't got there yet. And then we start looking him up, ghost, nowhere to be found, can't find him on any social medias. We can't even find the company. No website on this company, no social media, like literally nothing. He was being, after the fact, we were able to look back at the conversation and be like, oh yeah, that was a red flag. Like he wasn't giving us like names of people.
He was really good at name dropping in regards to like all of the people and obviously
name dropping big, like,
well, he's name dropping the people that you were watching on YouTube.
Right. They got it figured out.
Yeah. So they're really good at marketing, but they're a scam. So they've got you on the front end. They put the hard sell on you to sign up right then before you even have a chance to do any research on them.
Yeah. So it was like the same with the call. Like they called me before I could even look at their schedule. Then they set up a call with us like for a Sunday, which should have been a red flag anyways. Like who sets up a call on a Sunday? Yeah. But it was just like boom, boom, boom. We probably should have known better to like look at it before we actually got on the calls. But it was just, they were moving so quick that we were like, sweet. And we had come off the launch. So we were just exhausted anyways and just wanted. Yeah. And we just wanted like.
They probably knew that too. They probably researched us.
Yeah. It was.
Anyways, big fat fail number 3. We learned a lot from it.
Yeah. So we basically, we called him back after my dad came in the living room and was like, no, he is like a complete fraud. Like this whole thing, the whole setup. They even created testimonials. This was like kind of the scary part about it is they, through AI, probably created these fake testimonials with the CEO, supposedly CEO of this company,
Yeah.
talking with their supposed testimonials of the work that they've done. And so it was like these 2 testimonials that they sent us, and like they looked super legit, like these people, like they had real stories and everything. And then once my dad came in the living room, we were like, but there's testimonials, like there's other people that have signed up for this. He's like, have you looked them up? So we looked them up, and like the one lady that is like this going towards $1 million company doesn't even have a website, like she's a fraud, and all of these things. And we're just like, oh, we just spent our entire day, literally our entire day, because we had to watch a training ahead of the call on this company that they sent us, and then the hour-and-a-half call, and then to find out they were a fraud. So then we were like frantically looking them up, trying to figure out like where this is even coming from. So we spent like the entire day just on this scale 13 fake company. And so that was a big fat fail of a day. But also we definitely learned, like,
again, that we do not need to be outsourcing our own expertise. Nobody knows any better. Like, and it's so easy to lose sight of that. And when you do lose sight of that, when you believe that somebody else is a better expert at your own business, your own life, whatever.
You'll get scammed out of $15,000.
Your goals, you will be like, your primitive brain is telling you you're not the expert.
Yeah.
And you will be behaving in such a way where you'll be putting a lot of faith into other people. You will be completely blinded to all of those red flags, So we learned a lot.
And I think another thing to say is, like, it's not to say that you can never, like, get help on things or outsource, but I think the biggest thing that we've learned is we haven't even tried to do it on our own. Like, we just chalked it up to, this is not our area of expertise, so we can't do it. And I think that is, like, the biggest learning opportunity for us, is that, no, we absolutely can learn how to do these things. We just haven't tried. And if we get to a point where we need some extra help, then we can outsource and look for experts to help us, to show us the way, not to have it done for us or buy the shiny packages.
I've always known that I am an easy sale. Like, I actually like to be sold to. Yeah. My phone's probably going to start ringing with all these.
She is literally consumerism at its finest.
And so I think part of it is because I used to operate from this, like, insufficient, inadequate, I never have enough. So more. That's one reason why I was very easy to be sold to. I would say, secondly, I also, instead of looking at what it is that I need, instead of assessing, like, what are the gaps and what is it that I actually need that's going to get me closer to what it is that I want, and buying that, I get very distracted by kind of all of these shiny objects, and I lose sight of, do I even need it? Like, and I tend to buy it. So you go and look in my closet, and I have all these things that I don't wear, but they look great on somebody else. And it's like, if I would have assessed whether I actually needed it and it would look good on my body, I do less of that now. I just bought a rebounder, which my whole family is laughing at me. Which a rebounder is just like this mini trampoline.
Per my aunt's recommendation.
Yes. And I know I'm going to love it. I wanted it either here in my office or somewhere where, high traffic area, so I wouldn't forget about it.
To prove her point that she loves it, the day after she set it up, she left it right out in the living room for everyone to hear her bouncing on that trampoline every hour of the day. So
I'll put the link in the show notes because you too could love it. It's going to be super fun. I actually like different types of cardio. I have always been somebody who tries different types of cardio, and I kind of like to keep things new and fresh. And of course, the recommendation came from my sister. It helps with more than just cardio. It helps with the lymphatic system. It's easy on your knees, which is something that I need. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's a fun way to work out.
Yes.
We're just giving her a hard time, but
Yeah.
she will like it. So
Yes.
it's
Okay. Any other big fat fails as we
um,
continue to become failures?
yeah.
I'm all about it now. I'm open to it. I'm open to the feelings, even though
Yeah.
it's like, owie, owie, owie.
Yeah, honestly, this
I'm
is
okay.
gonna be like the episode is gonna be failures part 1 because we fully expect to fail 100 times over until we hit these goals, and so there will
Yeah.
probably be an episode, another one like this, but
Yeah. A fail typically is what you're really afraid of is a feeling. Like, right, when I'm sitting here going, owie, 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 this hurts, this hurts, this hurts. I am capable of feeling these feelings. Even though it hurts, I'm capable of feeling it. And an exercise for you, if you're somebody who's like, yeah, but I don't want to feel it, really think about what does it feel like? So sometimes like, I don't want to feel anxious. Anxiety just feels kind of tingly. It kind of feels fast. It feels a little bubbly for me sometimes. That's all it is, right? So if what you're afraid of is just a feeling, why would you ever let that stop you, right? But we don't really think through it. We don't have the presence, or we don't pause long enough to actually think through it, that all we actually might be afraid of is just a feeling. That's why I take a lot of my clients through like the worst case scenario, because the worst case scenario is always just a feeling. And if you really think about what is that feeling, it's this fast, bubbly, tingly emotion or vibration running through my body. Okay, yeah, might not feel good, but you're capable of feeling it, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when I sit there and I go, owie, 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 it doesn't feel good, but at the end of the day, I'm more than capable of feeling it. And
well, and that's like the best time to learn from whatever it is you're doing, because if we had converted even just a few people, I think that we would have looked at that as a success, and we probably would not
Missed.
we probably would not have like looked further or like tried to do things on our own. And so I think that we definitely, we just learn so much more
Right.
when you fail. I mean, it'll feel good, obviously, when we get there, but I just think that it's honestly such a blessing that this happened. All these things happened so early on in hitting these goals, because we just learned so much from last week. So
yeah. So I'm okay with becoming a failure.
yep. Yes. Anyways, I hope nobody's watching this.
Because then that could be big fat fail number 4.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will be back next week.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. We're
Yes.
looking forward to a weekend of fun at Country Jam.
Yep.
Get to see my favorite artists. We get Chris Jansen.
Jansen.
I'll link him in the show notes. He is phenomenal. He has so much energy. I just love watching him up on stage. Lee Brice, who is another one of my favorites. He sings Soul, which is one of my favorite songs.
Tim McGraw.
Dierks
I'm excited
Bentley.
for Tim McGraw.
Lainey Wilson. I mean, oh my gosh.
Low Cash.
This is going to be such a fun weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Lots of sun. So
We deserve it after last week.
we deserve it all the time. So so I hope all of you guys have a fantastic week ahead. I know you're going to be watching this on a Monday. So thanks for listening to us. We really do appreciate it. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.